Go through your marketing courses, you're already doing that. IPR courses, you're already doing that. Go through a few of these minimal kind of courses which can help you to create this kind of an intellectual capital. And you learn a lot, 70% of what you learn is about tangible assets, but I think you should at least spend about 10 to 20% of your time learning about intangible assets. And an MBA contributes like a HR manager a lot to the intangible assets. And if you get an opportunity work with HR people, I would strongly recommend all MBAs in your career. Earliest possible, you work with the HR department. I think that will be a great opportunity. You don't have to give up whether you're a finance guy or a systems guy or a supply chain person. It really doesn't matter. Nothing moves without talent and without people. So you should seek an opportunity to learn by working with HR and achieve the kind of goals that I've talked about. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I have enjoyed sharing my thoughts, and I do not know if your system permits it. If it permits it, I am very happy to answer maybe 2 or 3 questions.
Sir, do we have the time to take a couple of questions from the audience?
Yes, sure. Is it clear? Whatever I have talked? I'm glad this has worked this time.
Yeah, Mr. Rao, you talked about MBAs taking roles in HR function. We would like to have your experience that in today what HR leadership we have in the country, all the HR leadership who is sitting here today, how many of them have worked in the other functions?
I think this is a question you should ask them after you have after my talk. I only will recommend that a certain HR people, normally, I mean, HR people should work with every function. No person working with any particular kind of function. I think what is required is other functions working sometime in HR, but no harm. It's a good idea to work as a line manager. In banks, it is quite common. In some of the financial sector, it is quite common. IT sector, it happened the reverse. I think they worked in other functions and moved to HR and things like that. But I think at leisure, when you are in the conclave, you should check with some of them. I know for sure quite a few of them have worked. I know from those who are there, some of them, I think you can ask the people there. I'm sure some of them have. But people I know elsewhere have worked in other kind of functions. I was giving an example this morning of Arvind Agarwal of RPG Group now. He was in quality first, later he was marketing head in Modi Xerox, then he went on to HR, then he came to market planning, then IT, and then later he was CEO of a company with the Scots, and then he decided to join and become the change agency role in RPG Group. And he has been continuing for the last 10 to 12 years. And similarly, I know several people from State Bank of India who joined some of the companies in South, became heads of IT, and then later on came back to HR and things like that. But in the conclave, you can ask some of the HR managers.
So, one of the things that I noticed in your, as you talked about HR function, you have essentially created HR or posed HR as a flag bearer of the intellectual capital or the intellectual investments. Now, the question there would be, do you think that in the current business situation or as businesses evolve, intellectual investment becomes the prerogative of any function in an organization? That becomes possibly the number one priority. So, is HR a facilitator of everybody else doing that, or HR the leader or the flag bearer of doing that?
It is both. It is both the flag bearer and the facilitator. Because everyone contributes. Only thing is they don't remember. For example, a marketing guy, marketing which is closest to actually your income generation or final billing and things of that kind, it does a lot. But marketing in their eagerness to achieve their targets may make promises which might in the long term hit negatively the corporation. Similarly, production contributes to every single function contributes to intellectual capital. But by virtue of the way in which they interpret their function, they may not always contribute to intangible assets. They may not always focus on reliability. They may not always focus on quality. Only some departments will focus on this. Therefore, HR becomes a torchbearer of reminding everyone we must be reliable, we must be customer driven, we must be brand building, we must be innovative. These are all intangibles, and intangibles is a part of every function. It is only HR which deals with every single person at the company. Therefore, HR becomes a flag bearer. HR becomes the most, legitimate kind of a person or the team to build intellectual capital with the help of all the other functions. You can't do it alone. But culture is what? Culture has to be the one which is followed by everyone. It is HR through the induction program inculcates culture in the minds of people. Through PMS inculcates culture, through training inculcates culture, through 360 inculcates culture. So these are all intangibles which I think HR should take care of as a flag bearer. While it is the job of everyone, it is HR whose I think main job will be to contribute to non-tangibles. Other people have a lot of tangibles to take care of. In fact, most of the other functions are measured by tangibles, including the finance department. They are measured by tangibles, not by intangibles. So I think it is the HR whose job is to, talent is an intangible kind of thing, but talent is the most critical kind of thing. It gets shown only in the market value of the company. I hope I answered your question, but this is the view I have. It should do both.